Good morning, everyone. Hey, are you ready to sing together? I hope so. I love writing songs, poetry, and this one is a favorite from Rumi. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field I'll meet you there. You can join me. We're going to go back to the beginning. Out beyond ideas, wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field I'll meet you there. Sing that again. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field I'll meet you there. Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian prayer to restore balance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And there's plenty of time to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath between each of those phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Deep breath. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Really breathe into it. I love you. Thank you. One more time, all the way through. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, good morning. Look who showed up to the Center for Spiritual Living this morning. We've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. How's everybody doing? You still waking up? You still waking? Okay, that's cool. We just had that wonderful, thank you, that was just set the mood for us. But welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter. I'm your seniorist of ministers. And it's my honor and privilege to welcome you here. You made it. You made it through another week. What a week it's been. Great stuff going on. I hear we're going to get some rain in tonight, so I hope you battened down the hatches, did all the things you need to do, because it's a-coming. Well, let's do what we do every Sunday morning, and that's read our vision mission statement up on the screen that says, "We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles." Once again, we're so glad that you made this your spiritual destination for this Sunday morning. I know you have a lot of places you could have ended up, but you ended up here. There is a reason for everything, and you're about to find out what that reason is, because we have some announcements. So I'd like to invite up our board president, Wendy Orsat. Please.
You're all ready to find out what's going on, right? Woo woo! All right. Welcome. It fills my heart so much to be able to serve you in this way. I really feel just so blessed to be part of this tribe. So recently we had a board meeting, and all of our happenings always get posted over here where you start to get your food, in case you didn't know that. The minutes are there, the financials are there, and we also approved some new policies, so those are there for you to look at. I also posted the results of our visioning from last week. I collated all of the answers to the questions, and that's posted, and then a overall statement for 2026 came forward through our visioning, and I would love to read that to you now. So this is our vision for 2026. We see a spiritual community that is warm, alive, and welcoming, where people feel at home the moment they arrive. Music, laughter, and heartfelt connection fill the space. Our sanctuary is vibrant with all ages, voices, and cultures growing in joy and diversity. Our teachers are not only spoken, but lived in the way we care for one another. We forgive, celebrate, and uplift. We expand through openness, creativity, and collaboration. Music events, shared meals, learning experiences, and community gatherings bring us together in meaningful and joyful ways. Gardens bloom, children play, conversations thrive, and the center overflows with energy and possibility. We participate with neighboring communities, faith groups, and local organizations to serve with love and purpose. We show up as the living embodiment of peace, compassion, courage, and unity. We keep the door open for transformation. Each one of us contributes our gifts, talents, time, and heart. We listen deeply, trust fully, and walk steadily in faith. We release fear, doubt, limitation, and old stories, and we choose love, creativity, and joy as our way of being. Spirit reminds us that we are enough. The vision is already unfolding. We say yes. and we say thank you, and we walk forward together, guided by love. And so it is. Thank you all who participated in the visioning. It really was a magical time. So thank you again. Your continued support and engagement allows all of this to be possible. So the board approved a new fundraiser that's going to sweeten your life. We've got See's Candy. So if you'd like to order See's Candy, there is a link where you can go to a storefront. The link is listed in the e-news, or I have order forms on the back counter and a little, the best way that it printed, catalog of what's being offered. And so that way, once we get a larger enough of an order, we can place one order at a time and not have to pay the shipping fees. Or if you want to go online and make a bunch of orders and send them to your friends and family, you can do that too. So we're excited to have the See's Candy fundraiser supporting the center. As we move forward, the board has decided to kind of table the fundraising for the LEC roof, because we won't be able to do that until next year anyway, when it's not raining and such, and we're about halfway there already to our estimate, which is amazing. But upon reviewing the financials, just to be completely transparent, as this is your home too, we're having a hard time paying our monthly bills. We're not bringing in enough every month to pay our operating costs. So if you look at the financials, our overall bottom line has been in the negative for the past couple months. And we've been doing a great job focusing on the LEC roof, but we're going to switch all of our fundraising now to general funds. So just so you're aware, you can still donate to the LEC roof, and we are tagging that and putting into savings so that it doesn't get touched. But all of our focus now will be on general funds so that we can keep operating and not keep taken from savings. So that's what's going on. I just like to give you guys the update on that. Of course, this month we also have the pledge program, which helps us understand what you guys are planning on giving. And it's more of a contract that you make to yourself and to Spirit. We're not going to send you a bill or anything. There's a little paper or pledge card in the back of the seat backs, and it's just a way for us to help plan for fun things for you for the center. And we did get the grant too that we applied for from the home office, so we are planning a 2-year, it's called Spirit in Voice and Sound. So we'll have guest speakers and guest musicians like Karen Drucker to have concerts and stuff like that. So we've got things coming up for you. So don't feel like we're in a place where we can't still offer you some wonderful things. So there's lots of wonderful things going on. There's also the unexpected income prayer, which we know once you focus on something, you'll get more of it. So Reverend Steve's going to read that prayer, and I hope you're reading it to yourself every day too, because it'll help bring things forward. Save the date for our holiday celebration. The party is going to be on Friday, December 12th at 6 p.m. We're going to provide you with the main dish, and you all can bring in some side dishes. So we'll put a sign up in the back. Or you can email Reverend Steve so we know exactly what's being brought. And we are also joyfully gathering a team to help bring the festive spirit into our sanctuary. So we're welcoming volunteers who would love to help decorate, set up the sanctuary before the party, and then help close and clear the space afterwards. Your celebration, this celebration is already taking shape, and your presence will truly make it special. So if you'd like to volunteer, you can see me, Dave Shadrick, or Angie Schofel, okay? And then we've got our ongoing events, which is the metaphysical book study in the LEC every Sunday from 9 to 9:45. They're studying this book called Life by Ernest Holmes. And then directly after, you will be invited to stay for a silent meditation put on by the practitioners. It's 15 minutes from 9:50 to 10:05. And on the fourth Sunday of every month, Deborah Perdue puts on Grooving into Gratitude. This month, it's going to be on November 23rd, the fourth Sunday of every month. And I just want to make sure I got all of these announcements, and then we'll move to the beautiful flowers who were brought by Deborah. Aw, thank you, Deborah. Wow, I love the peach rose in there. It's really talking to me. Okay, is there anybody here for the very first time? No, nobody. Okay. Upon reviewing my announcements, I did miss the Taizé service. Don't forget to show up for the Taizé service, excuse me, on Thursday, November 20th, from 6:30 to 7:30. The doors open at 6:15. Please come and be prompt so that the service can start at 6:30. It's a chanting and music service where you receive in silence. Donations are always appreciated, and we'd love to see you here. Okay, now I just want to remind you to put your phones on silent, and then you can greet each other real quick, and we'll stand to sing We Are One. That truth ripples through. And now I'd like to introduce the podium practitioner for the day, Deborah Perdue.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Deborah Perdue, as she told you. I'm honored to serve as the podium practitioner today. Please join me in reading the gratitude, which will be on the screen. There it is. I am so thankful to be open and willing to changing my mind. Today, our table practitioner is Janet Murray, holding the high watch for all of us. You'll find yellow prayer request cards and light blue demonstration cards in the seat back before you. You can also submit a prayer request anytime at grantspasscsl.org. Know that our practitioners lovingly pray over each request we receive. It's our honor to hold you in prayer after the service, too. Will the practitioners who are present today please raise your hand? There's 3 of us. So Janet will direct you to either another practitioner or pray with you and for you herself. Let's read the prayer together on the screen. I value the clarity that comes from distinguishing between truth, fact, and opinions. I am so glad to remain open at the top. We're going to sing I Am Love. Please remain seated. This week's topic is all about being open at the top, as Ernest Holmes encourages us. And I love this quote, which many of you probably recognize. A mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it's not open. That's by Frank Zappa. It is so true. I am committed to changing my mind when I find out that what I believe no longer works. And I'm willing to change it if I realize I was seeing a situation without clarity and more information comes to me warranting change. I'm going to say a prayer, and then let's go into a minute or so of meditation together. Oh, great Spirit, may we remember to stay open and willing to change. May we honor differences and other opinions, even if we don't hold them ourselves, while also standing strong in our spiritual principles of oneness, peace, compassion, unity, and love. I speak my word for this service today at Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I know that the music, the message, and the love and harmony is alive with spirit, that we are all connected in feeling the joy and the peace that permeates this room right now and always. I am so grateful for this spiritual community which feeds my heart and soul. I'm grateful for our minister, for the musician, and for every single person here today. And so I let this prayer be released, knowing it's already done. And so it is. And so let's come back, bring our consciousness back to this room. And I'm so grateful that Heather Hutton will be doing a special song for us and then a powerful message, no doubt, by Reverend Steve. Thank you.
I call this Song of One. I shared it here a few months ago. It was first born out of frustration over a particular person I wasn't feeling seen or heard. And aren't we grateful for those crunchy places, right, that help us get more in touch with what we believe, what we feel and think, but also getting to the Ho'oponopono and that place of forgiveness and that field that Rumi talks about where it doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. So, hope you enjoy it. Your words is smaller than mine. You don't choose the space. drive a wedge between your heart and mine. All the lights, the lights. And I remember that garden they say we all come from. That place where the mother and the father and the mind and the heart all are one. Don't have to choose 'cause there's no winner or loser, or the web will come undone. I'm done, I'm done. It's all a You're God in quiet disguise, only the right words, the rules you find, and what am I? A challenge to your demons inside, all that fighting, all this fighting. And I remember that garden they say we all come from. That place where the mother and the father and the mind and the heart all are one. Don't have to choose 'cause there's no winner or loser, or the web will come undone. I'm done, I'm done. Come a little closer. Tell me your secrets and I'll tell you mine. Feel what lies between us. A little me and you and me inside. This light inside the light, you and I. In this light, would you join me on that? This light. This light. This light inside the light. This light inside the light. You and I. You and I. In this light. In this light. One more time. This light. This light. This light inside the light. This light inside the light. Let's get back to there. You and I. You and I. In this light. Let's tone home together. Kind of like an ohm, right? Deep breath. Find that still, powerful place. One more.
working. There we go. Let's hear it again for Heather. Well, we have a couple extra announcements that Wendy has so much going on that sometimes it slides off the back of the stove because of all the things she's cooking up for us. First off, our giving tree is in the back for our foster kids. So if you feel so inclined to take a card and fulfill, I think it's one of the wishes. You don't have to, I think there's 3 things on each card. You don't have to get them all. You can get one of them, or you can get them all. Throw some other things that aren't even on the card in there. But it's unwrapped gift, and I don't know what the date is. They're supposed to be back. December 15th? Okay, so you've got a month to get those gifts and put them on the tree or under the tree, and I will make sure they get in the back room and picked up for us. So it's something that we do every year for our foster kids in this community. Also, a long-time practitioner that was part of this center before I was here, Cheryl Riffle, had made her transition, and I just wanted the community to know that Cheryl had made her transition. She left when I came here, and she went to the Rogue River Center for Spiritual Living, but she was very active in this community for several years before I was here. And I'm not sure if her memorial service was yesterday. It's coming up. Okay, so it's next Saturday, I think at 1 p.m. at the Rogue River Center for Spiritual Living in Medford. So there's details on our website at the e-news. It was under the community news. So I just wanted everyone to know that we honor her. Yes? No, it's not here. It's going to be 1 o'clock at the Medford Center. They're the same thing. Medford and Rogue River are the same. It's called the Rogue Valley Center in Medford. So it's a little confusing, but if you look it up online, it'll give you the same address. It's also the Unity Center. Unity and the CSL share the same building. Yes. Okay, that takes care of that. Our unexpected income program is going on right now. So here is our unexpected income prayer. It's up on the screen. And there's also copies of this in the back if you want to take a copy home and recite this every day. It's helpful. Let's say it together. There is one infinite source of abundance, and I am fully connected to it now. I open my mind and heart to receive unexpected income from known and unknown channels. Money, opportunities, gifts, and financial blessings flow to me with ease. I am worthy of increase, and I joyfully receive it now. I give thanks, I trust, I let it be, and so it is. And we've already had wonderful demonstrations from people just hearing it. Like, I was in the room and I heard that, and all of a sudden new things came into my awareness. So I've got another little tidbit I want to share with you, and this is about Veterans Day. Merlin is a veteran. Is there any other veterans here? Raise your, yeah, we've got several. I want to thank you all for your service. And Veterans Day was just this last week, wasn't it Tuesday, the 11th? Yeah. Well, apparently Merlin had gone to the Red Robin, and they had a thing for veterans. And he was approached by a 10-year-old boy who asked, "Are you a veteran?" And he said, yes, I am. And he said, "Thank you for your service," and handed him a card. And I've got permission to read this card because it was so touching. the experience of how people celebrate Veterans Day. And it's a card that says, God loves a cheerful giver, 2 Corinthians 9:7. You are appreciated more than you know. And it says, Dear veteran, my family has been on the lookout for a veteran today. The fact that you are reading this means God led us to you. My dad was a very proud U.S. Army vet and a very patriotic American man. He went to heaven in April of 2021, and it was that year that we started this tradition in honor of him. My kids look forward to this act of appreciation each November, and it has allowed for many great conversations. We have discussed what it means to be a veteran, how you have made such a selfless sacrifice, and because of your bravery, we get to enjoy living in a free country. My dad taught me with his actions and examples to thank our veterans, and it is important to my husband and I to instill that appreciation and patriotism into our kids. I often wonder what my dad would think of the world today, as it often feels we've gone off the deep end. I hope this gives you a sliver of hope that there are still people out there who recognize your sacrifice and feel gratitude for you. May you never take for granted living in the land of the free because of the brave. And may we all have the bravery within ourselves to stand up for what is right. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your service. The Mills family. And there was a $100 bill in that as a little token of their appreciation. And what a wonderful way for this family to teach their children about what Veterans Day really means, other than it's just a day off. That it is a celebration of those who have given the sacrifice of the time in their lives, and sometimes the ultimate sacrifice of their life. What a great, and thank you, Merlin, for sharing that with us, because it's very powerful. So I just, on our family, I wanted to bring that forward. When he shared it with me, I said, I got to read it. All right, well, I wanted to read this. I read this back in September, but it's more poignant today than ever. This is from Kristen on TikTok. You guys do TikTok? Some people do, some people don't. Well, this is what she wrote. This is the moment of the shift. Two worlds are running in parallel. One is dying, built on control, fear, and fragmentation, and the other is rising, built on resonance, coherence, and wholeness. Can you feel that? Some of us can. Some of us sensitives, if you will. Even if you're unsensitive, you might be feeling something. We are living in the transitional space between those energies. That's why everything feels kind of inside out right now. Like reality just got flipped on its ear, and the volume is turned up so loud that the distortion is almost cartoonish and hyperbolic. It's almost unreal. Well, it's not your imagination. See, this is how polarity behaves before it collapses. Before coherence returns, distortion has a tendency to overperform. It throws a tantrum. It wants one more act before the curtain closes. So what do? Well, we don't match the noise. We don't play the role. Hold your own frequency. Speak from where you know things are going. Even if nobody claps for you yet, even if the stage is still shaking, time doesn't move in a straight line. But you will start to feel when resonance begins to settle. Number one, people shift without needing an explanation. People automatically begin to align with their own energetic. Two, systems start leaking truth instead of hiding it. Interesting. And three, something in your chest clicks. Like that. And suddenly you're not confused anymore. This is the moment between worlds. Stay with it. It's taking shape all around you. Again, that was by Kristen on TikTok. I wanted to share that with you because it spoke to me about this interesting experience we're having right now. Which leads me into my talk today, opinion, fact, or truth. Okay. Do the beliefs you hold fall into the category of opinion, fact, or truth? When you hold a belief that is revealed to be a safe opinion or debunked fact, are you open and willing to change your belief? How quickly can we change our mind about something? What do you hold as truth that others might disagree with? What do you do when someone you love fundamentally disagrees with a value you hold dear? Ouch. Ernest Holmes consistently urged us to remain open at the top. Throughout his whole lifetime, this is what Ernest Holmes taught. Be open, as my dad used to say, leave the window open an inch for a new idea to blow in. Well, in the middle of winter, it gets cold. It's hard to leave that window open, isn't it? This call to openness is more crucial today than ever before, especially in this era marked as rapid technologies advance and AI. We have conflicts and the appearance of violence and artificial intelligence and profound political division that fracture families and harm migrated communities. So, investigating these turbulent times, I've been asked to speak more directly on some of these things, to not dance around the edges of what we're going through, to really head on look at things, that I should get more political. Well, vote. That's as political as I get. Because if I go one way or the other, I'm going to alienate somebody. And God doesn't have a political party. Source energy is beyond wrongdoing and right doing in that field where we will dance together, disregarding our opinions. These truths serve as guiding lights amidst the confusion where facts, opinions, and falsehoods are manipulated, often blurred into one another. It's hard to tell sometimes with AI. Did that person really say that? Is that real? Brené Brown, in her book, Atlas of the Heart, Mapping Meaningful Connection and the Language of Human Experience, wrote this. When we're faced with information that challenges what we believe, our first instinct is to make the discomfort, irritation, vulnerability go away by resolving the dissonance. We might do this by rejecting the new information, decreasing the importance, or avoiding it altogether. the greater the magnitude of the dissonance, the greater the pressure to reduce the dissonance. And that's by Leon Furtzinger. I love these names. She goes on to say, in these challenging moments of dissonance, we need to stay curious and resist choosing comfort over coverage. It's brave to invite new information to the table, to sit with it and to hear it out. It's also rare these days. As Adam Grant writes, intelligence is traditionally viewed as the ability to think and learn. Open at the top. Yet in a turbulent world, there's another set of cognitive skills that might matter more. The ability to rethink and unlearn. You know, I noticed for me that, like, if I've learned a piece of music, it's difficult to unlearn it because, you know, you get used to it being a certain way. And when somebody gives you the downbeat in a different place, it throws your whole trajectory of the song off. But if we're to be open at the top and really learn new things, we have to forget that we know. You know, we walk in, we know all this already. Well, what if we know it and we were taught the wrong thing or a misunderstood truth? Again, that was Brene Brown from Atlas of the Heart, Mapping Meaningful Connection and Language of Human Experience, page 79 and 80. So embracing oneness at the top, excuse me, means maintaining receptivity, open to new ideas and perspective while anchoring ourselves in these enduring principles. So here's the example. So if I was to look out in the street right now and the street was wet, we'd imagine that it's rained, right? Maybe the rain has come down. So I would go and prepare myself for that rain by getting my galoshes on and my slicker and, you know, dressing in layers, right? Because it's raining, right? The street's wet, it's raining. But what if the street got wet, getting wet was caused by a truck that had water on it going down the street, was watering the pavement. And the truck had long gone, but the pavement was still wet. But we were living under the assumption that something had happened to the street that got it wet was rain when it's sunny out. But we're in our galoshes and our heavy coats, right? Where in your life have you been presented with information you thought was one way, and you prepared for it being that way, only to find out the truth later that it hadn't rained, but you were treating someone like it had when that wasn't the truth? And I always give my example of my roommate and the can of beans. I know some of you have heard this, but my story is that I bought a can of beans, I put it on my shelf, and I later went to go have that can of beans, and it was gone. And I knew my roommate had eaten my beans. And I held that grudge, that upset about them, because they never said anything. I never found the empty can of beans. But later, when I was rearranging stuff on the shelf, I noticed that there was the can of beans in the back. That it had gotten moved to the back by someone moving things on the shelf. See, I was going under the impression that this person had gone out of their way to hide eating my beans when they had just moved some things on the shelf. They hadn't done anything nefarious at all. They were just making room for their groceries on the shelf and pushed mine to the side. And it wasn't in the exact spot that I had left it. And I had treated them like they had stolen my beans. How dare they take my beans and not say anything? And I had to do a lot of amend work because I had treated them as if they had stolen something from me. You ever done something like that in your life where one thing happened and you thought it was one way, and later you found out it was different? See, we're talking about opinion, fact, or truth, right? And we can have an opinion about the fact and the truth, right? We can be upset about it. That's not what happened. I know they ate my beans. Back to my talk. It involves discerning truth from misinformation. Fostering compassion across divides and actively contributing to a more inclusive and harmonious world. So let's start with opinion. An opinion is a personal belief, a viewpoint or a judgment that is subject and can vary from person to person. You know, if three of us saw something happen outside, each person would have a different description of what happened because of our viewpoint or our energy around it. Opinions are shaped by individual experiences, emotions, perspectives, and they do not require objective evidence to be valid for the person holding them. Example, I believe that classical music is the most soothing genre. Well, it depends who you ask. I think heavy metal music. What? See, we all have different perspective, but see, I like the ballads in heavy metal, and that's soothing for me because I like all that crazy power distilled into a gentle, easy stairway to heaven experience. See the difference? Now there's facts. A fact is an objectified statement that is supported by evidence or can be verified as true or false. Facts are based on particular data and observations, and while they're considered true based on current knowledge, they may be subject to change with new information or discoveries. An example is water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level. That's a fact. That's what it does. If you're not at sea level, it may vary a little bit. You ever gone camping and you have to boil things a little hotter because the air a little thinner? You know what I'm talking about. Or 2 + 2 = 4. That's going to work. I don't care what the climate is, or if you're on Mars or Venus, 2 + 2 is going to equal 4, supposedly. Metaphysical math is 1 + 1 = 3. But that's another talk. So truth is the immutable spiritual truth and principles that we believe are universally valid and unchanging, regardless of circumstances or new information. These truths often form the foundation of one's spiritual or philosophical beliefs and are considered eternal and absolute. While spiritual truths do not change, our relationship to them and understanding of them and perspective of how the world works as a result of them will shift as we grow and evolve. And hopefully you're not so rigid and set in your ways that you can't be a little flexible and change your mind about something. Example of this is love is a fundamental aspect of the human experience. It is. Most people have experienced some form of love. Or God's source energy is oneness. That runs through all religions, most religions. That there is one power, one source energy. So let's talk a little bit about discernment. Every day we face an overwhelming influx of information from a multitude of sources. According to a study by University of California, San Diego, the average American consumes approximately 34 gigabytes of data and information daily. Wow. We've become little computers trying to distill all this information. And while this varies globally and individually, our capacity to process and assimilate knowledge far exceeds that of any previous era. We have more information available to us now than at any time in human history. And what do we do with it? Are you open to change? However, not all information reaches us as inaccurate or truthful, or particularly in an age of AI, with deep fakes and opinions and falsehoods that can be easily masquerade as a fact. You ever had that experience where you thought for sure one thing was true and you found out later, oh, no, that was AI. You're like, what? See, it's our responsibility to exercise discernment and distinguishing between truth, fact, and opinion and falsehood. Much of the information we retain is shaped by our personal perspective, belief, and individual histories, making it easy to fall into echo chambers that reinforce our biases. You know, if you're brought up a certain way, you're probably going to have that bias. Or maybe you've gone the other way and you've rebelled against that bias because of what they had tried to make you believe when you believe something else. But see, we're individuals. We get to decide for ourselves. You know, you may have been told that your favorite color is blue or pink. But when you grew up, you get to decide what your favorite color is. Maybe you changed it. Maybe you have several. It's okay to have several favorite colors. So it's time that we looked into changing our minds. One of the greatest challenges in learning new information is confronting beliefs that directly oppose our personal opinions. Ouch. When somebody brings you a truth and you're like, oh no. No, that can't be true. I do not believe that. Consider Galileo, who faced resistance and condemnation when he asserted that the earth revolved around the sun. Labeled as a heretic, he was compelled to recant his finding and spent the rest of his life under house arrest. Wow. But he was right. Ouch. I can see him later in the afterlife. I told you so. Today, the model of our solar system is widely accepted as fact. Yet similar challenges persist in various fields such as history, social dynamics, and white supremacy, and patriarchy, and quantum mechanics, and science, where emerging knowledge often challenges long-held beliefs. We need to be open at the top, people. Don't be so asphyxiated on your way that a new way, when presented, can't be assimilated in some way. At least say, that's interesting. I'm open to looking at that idea. See, in these moments, Ernest Holmes reminds us to keep our minds open for a new influx of wisdom and to pause to evaluate our beliefs against the measure of truth. Does it feel right to us? You know that feeling of something like when somebody says something and it just clicks as truth? Or when somebody says something or you see something and you're like, oh, wait, it doesn't fit. It doesn't feel right. Because your gut feeling is that connection to all that is. So, Ernest Holmes repeatedly emphasized that science of mind is shorn of dogmatism, freed from superstition, and open at the top for greater illumination, unbounded and unlimited. This approach offers a clear and intelligent framework for understanding life, one that encourages us to continually reassess and evolve. To create a world that works for all, we must be willing to crucially examine and potentially change our deeply held beliefs about something. Are you that flexible? Are you able to change your mind? You know, our whole motto is change your thinking, change your life. But if we're so stuck in the way it was that we can't change, then we're going to get what we always got. If energy flows where our attention goes and our attention is on the problem, we will recreate that problem. This is science. It's not my idea, although I have adopted it as a way of believing. Understanding the foundations of our world, including systems of marginalization or oppression embedded in various aspects of our society, we have a lot of work to do, don't we? I thought we were further along than this. You know, just because you're further along doesn't mean the world is. But it starts with you. Hold fast to those ideas that you believe in, but not so rigid that you can't understand where someone else is coming from. That's the only way we're going to have a dialogue about changing this plane of existence. By recognizing where we have entrenched ourselves in beliefs that may no longer align with reality. We can leverage our understanding of spiritual truth to foster new personal growth and evolution. So this week, spend some time contemplating your ability to be open at the top. What beliefs have you faithfully defended that may no longer be supported by the evidence presented to you? How can embracing spiritual truth guide you in reshaping your perspective and contributing to the positive changes happening in the world? So it is. Okay. Thank you. Well, it's time for us to have a little prayer. So let's follow our teaching and go within. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or take a soft focus on the beautiful flowers. And then let's remember who we are together. There is a power animating all that is. This force, this source, this oneness is the divine outpicturing as all that is. For we are unified as source energy made manifest. And as such, each one of us is unified in that field of all opportunity. So I speak my word for whatever you're working on today, be it health or relationships or abundance, creativity, whatever your thing is, let's see it together as part of your healing. Not something to take you away from your spiritual work, but to be an additive to your spiritual experience. That there is a message in our walking through these interesting times together that is presenting information for us to renew our thoughts, to align with source energy wisdom, turning away from the challenge, not to deny it, but not to give it any more power. We remain open at the top, allowing that place for healing, for revealing of truth, to be happening as who and what we are right now. Something powerful is sweeping across the energy of consciousness right now. Each one of us is being called to transform from the caterpillar into the butterfly in our lives. So today I see you as that butterfly, as that energy of transformation itself. For you are a work of art, created by the divine as only it can, formed into the consciousness that you reside in right now. So let's give great thanks for this information, for the healing and revealing of this truth in all aspects of our life. Let us let go and let God be God in our life, giving it directly into the living, loving law of mind where it is returned to us fully orbed and resplendent by the love of the universe. As we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay, it's now time for our prosperity affirmation. So if you'd like to put your hand on your heart and hold your gift there, let's recite this together. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks and share abundantly. And so it is. Together?
God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Repeat that last part. God gives me everything I need.
All right, let's say a prayer for our offertory this morning. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They are evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They do good work in the world by allowing this, the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, to be open and available to those who are choosing to remember who they are, and for those who may not even know it yet. And for that, this community, this city, this state, this world, this universe is blessed by this positive, thriving energy. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. Okay. And it is time for our peace song. If you'd like to stand up and sing with us.
Lovely home
And now for our benediction. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind.
Happening in my mind.
It's happening in my body.
Happening in my body.
It's happening in the body of my affairs. I think it. I feel it. And I know it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Have a wonderful week, everybody. God bless. So it is.